Steven Crowder is banned from Twitter, and Disney says they are not a left or right-leaning company, and Eminem is fighting back against cancel culture, and I have a lot to say about that. Our lead story today is from our friends over at Blaze Media. It is written by the one and only Phil Shiver, and he titles it, Twitter Suspends Steven Crowder's Account Without Any Explanation. This type of behavior from Facebook, Twitter, these big tech companies does not come as a surprise to any conservative because they're constantly trying to censor us and get rid of us and remove us from their platform. And it wasn't too long ago that I was reporting on a story from the Daily Wire about a beauty influencer, Amanda Ensing, who was suspended from Twitter for a copyright infringement that took place in 2016. And I believe she even deleted the content and still got hit with a copyright infringement. And Twitter did not even give her any options on how to fix this situation. They basically told her, hey, you need to figure it out. You need to contact your legal team and they need to handle it for you. We're not going to have any say or guide you or help you in how to fix this problem that ultimately they caused and that she was trying to fix. And now they're doing it to Steven Crowder. He has no idea why he was banned. They're not reaching out to him and letting him know how to fix it. They're just leaving him in the dark. And this is what big tech does. They screw with conservatives, not just by removing them, censoring them, or deplatforming them, but they also screw with them by not even trying to help them get back on the platform. They just want to make things hard for the conservative. They don't want to make things easy. And that is the whole job of the left, to make the conservatives' lives miserable. Moreover, Crowder has been frequently criticizing these big tech monopolies such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter for censoring and trying to deplatform conservatives. Even though we don't have a clear picture of exactly why he was suspended from Twitter, there is some suspicion here, and Phil lets us in on this article exactly what that suspicion is. Phil writes, while it is not known whether this incident is connected to the suspicion, on Monday, Crowder reposted a 5-year-old video on his Twitter account in recognition of International Women's Day. In the video, he dresses up as a transgender woman and goes to an exercise at a Planet Fitness. I'm sorry, that's funny. I mean, you gotta have a sense of humor about this stuff. And it says here, setting off the lunk alarm twice for dropping weights. But that's Crowder for you. He goes out and he does stuff. He crosses the line at times, but that's what comedians do. They either walk the line or they're crossing it. And he does both. And if people are being offended by this, they need to loosen up a little bit. He makes fun of everybody. He's a comedian. He does like a late night show style show. So it's just silly how the left is constantly trying to censor conservatives. Conservatives are not trying to censor the left. We understand that you should be able to say anything that you want to say. Even if it does offend us, hey, you know what? We won't listen to you then. That's fine. We'll go and listen to somebody else that we do agree with, that we do like. But for you to just go out and constantly deplatform, get rid of somebody because you're offended by them, you don't like what they do, hey, then don't watch them. Just turn off the station or don't go to their Twitter. Just ignore it. Let things go. Whatever happened to that saying, sticks and stones could break your bones, but words will never hurt me? Whatever happened to that? Do parents not teach their children that anymore? At least the left snowflakes? I don't know, but hopefully we can get this whole thing figured out by Twitter. Hopefully they can inform him of why he was banned, but it's just these big tech platforms are constantly censoring and suppressing conservatives. And we even tried to create our own platform. They're the ones that told us to go do it. They say, hey, go make your own platform if you don't like the way we run things. So we did. And we created Parler, an alternative to Twitter. And they didn't like the fact that we did that, even though they said, hey, go out and create your own platform if you don't like the way that we run things, if you don't like being deplatformed, censored, all this other stuff. So we did go do that. And then ultimately what they do, they deplatform that. They're constantly targeting conservatives, and they're gaslighting us, saying this stuff isn't happening. It doesn't exist. We're not going after conservatives. We're not just targeting you, but it's constantly day in, day out, if not week in, week out. You're constantly suspending, banning, deplatforming, censoring, canceling conservatives left and right. We've been talking about it on the show for weeks now at this point. Other conservative talk shows have been talking about it for years. We know this stuff is happening. If you want us to get off your platform, then allow us to create our own platform where we can converse and we can talk to one another. We can invite the left to come over because we're not going to cancel them. So just let it happen. Don't be offended when we do create one. Don't ban us when we do create one. And don't go after us when we create one. Just let it happen naturally, and we'll see who wins at the end of the day. Have a little competition. Lastly, I'm going to show you a little bit of his video that he might have got suspended for. It is great. It's hilarious. Here it is.
Doing well. How are you? First timer. Oh, I like everything's color branded. It's so, I feel like I stepped into Star Wars. Stairmasters are here. You don't have a squat rack at all? We have our speakers. Okay, so that would be the closest thing. Forget them. I forget my head if it wasn't attached. So there you go. One. Perfect. Thank you. Yes. Okay, thank you. Okay, I was good. Thank you. I just need help lifting up. Thank you. What was that? Oh, it's trying to run away. After this, I was officially banned from Planet Fitness. I tried to join another location, but it had already been flagged as seen here. But why are you telling me that I'm insincere?
Because I know who you are.
How do you know who I am? Are you saying that because that's a pre-transition ID? Is that why?
You gotta love Steven Crowder. Be sure to support him by joining his mug club over at louderwithcrowder.com. Our next news story of the day is from our friends over at the Daily Wire. If you're not already a subscriber, please make sure you go over and do so. It is titled, Disney CEO asked about Gina Carano firing, says company isn't left-leaning or right-leaning. Yeah, okay, man. Have you not seen the content you've been pushing for 10 years? You're trying to get rid of your own content. That's how left-leaning you are. You literally think your own content is offending other people. You can't even get it, I heard, on the children's streaming service of Disney Plus, like Dumbo, Peter Pan. You know, the stuff that we grew up on and we turned out okay, but they're going to decide what's offensive and what isn't offensive. But you're right, man. You're not left-leaning by any means. So what happened is the new CEO, Bob Chapek, was asked a question during a shareholders meeting on Tuesday. And according to The Hollywood Reporter, they say, asked by a caller during a Q&A portion if Disney had a blacklist, insinuating Carano by name, was targeted for her conservative politics. Chapek responded that he does not see Disney as a left-leaning or right-leaning, and that Disney stands for values that are universal. Values of respect, values of decency, values of integrity, and values of inclusion. I believe the right carries all those as well. And we seek to have the content that we make reflective of the rich diversity of the world we live in. And I think that's a world we should all live in harmony and peace. You know something's BS as well as political when they dodge the question, but they still give you an answer, but the answer isn't to the question that you asked. The caller specifically asked if there was a blacklist, if Disney had a blacklist. And we know for sure that they have a blacklist because the actors have come out and talked about it, how they were being listed, blacklisted, and how they were being watched like a hawk. And it was only a matter of time before whatever they said, Disney was going to find something that they said was offensive and they were going to fire them. And it's exactly what happened to Gina Carano. And remember, this is the company that didn't even inform her that she was fired. They didn't even take the time to sit down with her and let her know that they were going to release her. She found out that she was fired on social media just like the rest of us, and that speaks volumes about a company that if you're going to kind of act like this in the public eye, it really does make you wonder what goes on behind the scenes with you and your employees. The article goes on to say, according to the reports on the subject, Lucasfilm had been looking for a way to fire Carano for months before the incident took place because of her conservative views and past Twitter posts. That sounds like a blacklist to me. That sounds like you have her name listed and you're waiting for her to say anything and everything that you would find offensive just for a cause to get rid of her. That is blacklisted. And now you're seeing why Disney is dodging the question and giving a political answer to a question the person never even asked. If you want to see who does this the best, look at Jen Psaki, press secretary of Biden. Thankfully, people like Ben Shapiro and those at the Daily Wire are giving conservatives an outlet to go to by hiring them. As you know, they hired Gina Carano to work and produce a new film over at the Daily Wire. I can't be more excited for both parties, and I look forward to seeing the movie when it comes out. Well, our last news story of the day is dealing with cancel culture as well, but now we have a rapper that is fighting back. He is the real Slim Shady. Please stand up. Please stand up. Eminem himself, Marshall Mathers. It is titled, Young TikTok Users Tried Canceling Eminem. He Responded with Tone Deaf, a New Song. I talked about this story in length in one of my previous videos, so I encourage you to go check that out if you want my opinion or my interpretation of what is going on all of it. But one thing I talked about in the video was my hope, my wish that he would come out with like a diss track that would just completely destroy the leftist mob, the cancel culture. And well, I finally got my wish. The man released a song. I don't know about you, but I'm curious to what this song is all about, so let's go ahead and listen to it.
I can't understand a word you say. I'm tone deaf. I think this way I prefer to stay. I'm tone deaf. I won't stop even when my hair turns gray. I'm tone deaf. They won't stop until they can't me.
I see the rap game, then attack the verses. Turn it to a graveyard packed with hearses. Just like your funeral, I'm at your service. Pockets on stuff like a taxidermist.
I'm sorry. It's bad. It's not good at all. I don't remember Eminem rapping like this. I mean, you can definitely tell it's him, but it's not good. It's really cringy. I was hoping for a lot more. I don't know what you all thought about it. Let me know in the comments what you think of this new Eminem song that's supposed to be kind of like dissing a little bit of the cancel culture. But yeah, that was not good, man. It's not going to get me into rap at all. Well, I thought it would be Eminem that's going to get me into rap, but you know who I think it might take to get me into rap, who needs to do a diss track, is Trump. Trump needs to do a diss track of Biden. He needs to do a diss track of Pelosi, Schumer, the leftist mob, cancel culture, all of it. It's going to be huge. It's going to be lovely. Huge. I apologize for that terrible Trump impression, but I would love to see a diss track from Trump. I think it'd be hilarious. It would be great. You all know it would. It'll probably be bad, but at the same time, just hearing Trump just rip people a new one through a diss track, it would be great. That is all the news I have for you today. Don't forget, we upload every Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, share it with your friends and family, and I'll see you next time here on The Bald Brad Show.